guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Jojo Palacio, and on this channel we talk about all things beauty, everything beauty, and today we're doing this look right here. On my Instagram the other day I asked you guys what you wanted to see, whether it was a soft glam or a full coverage, full glam, and guess what you chose? Yes, this right here was what I came up with. I actually dreamed about it like I dreamed about makeup. Anybody else? Yeah, leave a little like raised hand emoji down below or comment down below, but I dreamed of this look and I decided that I wanted to recreate what I saw in my dream, and here it is. It is a blue, silvery, frosty moment with a ton of nudes and some bronze, because we had to go in with the bronze. So I hope that you guys like it. I am not gonna mumble on too long in this intro. We're gonna get right into it. It is a cut crease situation, but I take you step by step, so write down on a notebook, use the tools. It's super easy to recreate. Don't sign off the video just yet because it's super easy, believe me. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday of the week, and we talk about everything beauty related, whether it's my esthetician school journey or whether it's a makeup tutorial like this. There's challenges that I'm doing with my hubby coming up, so stay tuned for that per your guys' request. As well as hauls. I've purchased so many things for my studio here at home so I can practice what I'm learning in school. If you guys want to see a video as to what I've bought so far, comment down below as well, because I want to show you. I will show you probably, but you know, I'd like to have you guys' input on what you want to see on this channel. So let's get started on this tutorial, guys. Alright guys, so I have you pretty zoomed in. Eyelid is prepped. This is the look that we're going for today. I am feeling color. I'm feeling it. So we're gonna do this. Bear with me, the lights aren't as I would like them to be because your girl forgot to charge the lithium battery, so we're okay, we're good, we're okay. So we're gonna start off with using this guy right here. So this is the Nightfall eyeshadow palette by the Makeup Shack. I don't know if you guys remember, a few months ago I did a haul that included a ton of Makeup Shack eyeshadow palettes and brushes, and I'm still playing with them. So let's get into this. This is what this palette looks like. We're gonna start off with this color that's called Honey, and then also this guy that's called Cider. And I'm gonna take that on a Makeup Shack brush, and then that is, oh, I'm sorry, it's not a Makeup Shack brush. It is a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill brush. It's JH31. So this is a blending brush. It is a good crease brush, but I still want plenty of color. So, or not color, I want plenty of precision. So that's why I've chosen this guy here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that brush, go in between both shades, and we are gonna build ourselves up a nice crease. The good thing about cut crease looks like this is that you don't have to be as precise just because you're gonna go in and clean up with a concealer after. So let's get started. Always tilt your head back. That's just a good way to map out your crease if you're not comfortable with the crease yet. And so we're gonna just keep this pretty high up and into the inner corner. And at the end, I flicked up just to help create that like swoop at the outside. I also used a wipe, so don't feel like you have to get it right as you're using powder. You can always clean it up with a wipey. One thing that I always recommend you have handy and nearby is a nice clean blending brush like this guy. This is a Soho one I purchased at Walgreens years ago, and so what I like to do is just kind of very lightly go over the edges closest to the arch of the brow, just so that I can keep this nice and clean like the other side. I like it pretty messy as far as the blend goes. Like I want it smoky and soft, so just go ahead and keep that in mind when you're doing it, to just keep very light pressure on the brush. Once we're carved out, I'm gonna go ahead and go into, not carved out, once we're creased out, we're gonna go ahead and carve out. And I'm gonna go into my Makeup Shack T79 brush. I find that this is a nice flat shader brush that's big, so it helps me cover a lot of ground quickly. And my ColourPop No Filter Concealer. And I'm just gonna start by placing it in the inner corner. And then I'm gonna take my time to kind of look up and let it carve itself out so that it maps out the shape that we need to follow. And we are going to just do that all throughout the eyelid. Once I've got most of the lid carved out, I'll go into a mini version of that brush. It's just still a shader brush. This is actually by the Real Techniques, and it is their accent brush. And it's just nice and tiny to help me get into these areas here, because I want the line to be as precise and as straight as possible. The other tip that I like to recommend my clients do when they're cutting crease or using concealer, any type of primer on top of powder, you want to go back and you want to make sure that you're blending. You can use your finger to do this, you don't have to use a sponge, but I just like to make sure that I push everything onto the lid so that if there's anything that's built up, especially when you're cutting creases, it'll smooth everything out so it doesn't move on you throughout the day. The next shade that we're gonna use actually is the same two colors. We're just gonna go in with this Sephora brush. This is a 752 brush by Sephora. It is a drawing shadow brush. And I'm gonna take Cider, which is the darker two of the browns, and really just go over everything that we finished carving out because I want it to be very pronounced. I want it to be very dark. Going back into the Makeup Shack palette, we're gonna use this shade called Twilight, which is this awesome like navy blue color. And I'm taking that on another Jaclyn Hill X Morphe brush. This is the I want to keep saying T. This is the JH40 by Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. And so with this, what I did was I just used it on the outer corner, but you want to pat to distribute most of the color and build that up, especially in the outer corner. And so in this outer corner, we've already carved things out. Use very light pressure, guys, when you are like applying it to there. We're gonna clean up under here, but up here, it's very hard to clean up once you've got powders laid on already. So just very light pressure, dab, and get rid of most of the product on your brush. Once you get rid of all of that product, then you can start swiping, but right now, pat. All right, we see how messy this is looking? Don't be nervous, I got you. So we're pretty much at where I want to be before we go into the lid shade, the shimmeriness going on. We will continue to blend. We're not gonna actually add any more additional eyeshadow of that Twilight shade to this brush. We're gonna keep working off of what's left on here because that's how pigmented that color is. But let's go into my Jaclyn Hill palette 1, and this is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe. I'm gonna take this shade that's right here, which is a nice frosty, like pale ivory shade. That is going to be the base for this inner corner slash what's underneath that aqua looking shade. I'm gonna take a Jaclyn Hill JH41 brush and I'm gonna just pat that on the brush. It's a stiff shader brush, and what you're gonna do is you are going to lay that down on the center and pull from the outer corner in. Is it important what direction you pull in? Yes, because that's what's gonna help start that gradual transition. Mind you, we are using an additional color, but it also really does help to transition from that dark blue to the aqua to the frosty white. And I am gonna go over a little bit of this blue in the center shade, just because remember, we want it to match what's going on the other side, and that's only on the outer third of the eye. So to top that part in the middle of my lid, I'm gonna go into my Kat Von D or KVD Beauty Alchemist palette. I really do like the shade Sapphire that's in there, which looks white on camera, but it does have a blue type of luminescent shade to it, and I'm gonna put that right in the center. And then pull that in again towards the inner corner so that everything gradually goes from white to that very defined navy blue on the outside. I always have a wipey handy as well, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the wipe and, minding the shape, we're gonna just clean underneath the eye and keep your flick. So keep the wing, it's not a flick, it's a wing. I love it. All right, so we're gonna move on. Like, that was pretty easy, right? Comment down below and tell me if I walked you through that okay, or what you think, because I feel like that was pretty easy. I know that cut creases can seem intimidating. However, with the right techniques, it shouldn't be. So I'm gonna go on to applying some liner and applying my lashes. I'm gonna do that off of camera. We're just gonna follow the actual lining that we've already established with the cut crease, and I'll be right back. All right, so this is what the eyes look like. For lashes, I use the Beauty Creation lashes in Undisclosed. Again, if you guys haven't checked these lashes out, I've used them the past couple of tutorials that I've made, and I am pretty happy with them. They are very comfortable, very easy to put on, very lightweight. I feel like that's one of the biggest complaints I get from clients when I'm trying to put like a voluminous lash on them, is I don't want them to be too heavy. So there you go, Beauty Creations. I will link the ones that I'm using down below. I've tried 2 styles by them already and I'm like pretty happy. So let's do a full face glam beat down. I asked you guys on Instagram whether you guys wanted a soft glam or full on full coverage glam, and hello. So let's use some drugstore products because I feel like you guys love those the most. However, not gonna lie to you ever, and these are the 2 primers that I've been loving for during the summer. So this is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer, and then this is the Milk Hydrogrip Primer. I'm gonna put the mattifying one in the midsection just because it's gonna help control a lot of the oils, a lot of the pore production. So for foundation, we are at our drugstore situation. We're gonna use this guy right here. This is a Maybelline Stay 24-Hour Foundation. I'm using it in the shade Sun Beige, 310 Sun Beige. I'm still on the hunt for foundations that are good quality, drugstore foundations that are gonna last through the summer, outwear your mask. You guys requested it. So if you have any suggestions on what I should try, comment down below and let me know. So I'm gonna use my Morphe brush, buffing brush, to just blend this in. My face is definitely paler than the rest of my body just because we tend to cover that up with sunscreen more. But once I blend this out, it is like the perfect shade. So let's move this right along. I'm gonna contour and bronze up using my 2 favorite drugstore products for that. So I'm gonna use the Mega Glow, the Makeup Stick by Wet n Wild in Call Me Maple, and then I'm also gonna use my Beautiful Bronze by LA Girl Cosmetics. Let's start off by bronzing. So we're gonna use the Call Me Maple on the face. This is pretty much where I put it. I'm gonna do a little bit on my nose and then a little on my chin as well. And we're gonna blend this in using the Makeup Shack brush. This is the T22. It's a nice, stiff, oval shaped brush that really helps to blend this in. And I start just patting things up into the hairline. At this point, when you start layering, you wanna make sure that you're not swirling too much, but you're using more of a patting, pressing into the skin motion, so everything just starts to like come together. You get a nice blend. And then when it comes to this part down here, I like to use the foundation brush to like really buff that into the skin. Sometimes the colors can be a little too dark and I don't want it to look like I've got a beard. Just a nice contour, so working that in with the foundation really helps to hide that. All right, so the next step is to contour, and for the cream contour, instead of putting it directly on my face, I'm just gonna build up some color on my hand. That gives me more control. I don't really need this all over the place. I just wanna hollow out the cheekbones. So I'm taking it on the same brush and just putting it right below the bronze and working that up into the same area so we can define. You see the difference between here and here? So let's go into the concealing part, bring this look to life. I'm gonna use 2 concealer shades, same concealer, L'Oreal Infallible Concealer, best drugstore concealer next to the e.l.f. Those 2 are my go-to concealers from the drugstore. Like, I absolutely love it. The e.l.f. one is more of a mattifying, self-setting kind of concealer, so I like that when I'm on the go super quick. This is a full coverage, like a natural finish concealer. I still do have to set it, however, it is so good. Both of the coverages, like, it's full. So I'm gonna start with my concealing shade, which is the 380 in Pecan. And this is where I like to use the little triangle philosophy, so I'm just gonna start by putting that here. This is really more to conceal, so anywhere where I have redness and I feel like I could use a little more backup, like if I wouldn't have been able to cover this area up with just a foundation, I would have probably used this shade to further correct stitch, you know. So we're gonna go in with my Hank & Henry small sponge and keep that right below the eye. So if you didn't want to highlight, you could stop here and set it with some powder, but we are gonna highlight. So I'm gonna use the shade 345 Oatmeal is the name, and I'm gonna take that for the larger triangle. And what I like to do is just put it out here, reinforce a little in the middle, and then put that up a little higher so that it goes like a gradient effect, kind of like a highlighted on the nose, and then the chin. Very minimal, guys. That's the one thing that I can say, and I've always said, is the less the better, especially with concealer. Clients complain the most about concealers caking or creasing, and the one thing you need to know is, yes, you do need to use an eye cream. We are getting older, there are no glands around the eye area, so that skin can definitely get rough, just because of the fact that we're squinting, we're looking into computers, cell phones all day, and there is no type of lubrication because there are no pores. So you want to make sure that you're using something that's going to help smooth out that skin, soften up that skin so that you don't have very defined wrinkles or crow's feet out there. Hydration has a lot to do with how your concealer wears, plus the amount of concealer that you're wearing. So if you're out here trying to do this whole Instagram craziness, no. Get yourself a full coverage concealer and you'll be fine. You guys see how, oh, I love that. Boom. All right, so let's set real quick. To set this, I like to use a pressed and then a compact and then a loose powder. So we're taking the MAC Studio Fix in C2 as our pressed, and I'm gonna use just a nice tapered under eye brush. Those usually are a little more pointed, and I'm just going to press that into the under eye area. Pressing is better than swiping. All right, so that is how I set. Now I'm going to bake just a tiny little bit underneath of my eyes, only because I have to go back in with the blue, and that scares me a little bit. So the powder is just gonna help me get the fallout off easy. So I'm gonna use my mix of powders and a nice fluffy sponge. This is the bigger one of the Hank & Henry's, and I'm just going to lightly pack that underneath the eyes. What I'm gonna do now is I am gonna go in with the Nightfall palette, and we're gonna just repeat what we did on the top lid to the bottom. So we're gonna start off by using honey and cider. I'm actually gonna use a different brush than usual. This is the Real Techniques base shadow brush. It's fluffier than what I'm used to, but I really wanna blow my under eye area out with the Crease shade so that it is a little more dramatic. We said full glam. Right, so we've got all the smoke with that shade, and then I want to go into a nice stiff brush like this guy. And we are going to use the blue, which is Twilight, to smudge it out. Boom, I'm so excited. Okay, so we have a little bit of mascara that I got into the lower lash line. If you ever have that, what you want to do is use a clean spoolie, wait till it's dry, and then brush it off, and it comes right out. So let's just set up our bronzer so that we are not super pale looking because of all this powder. What I'm gonna do is actually, let's set everything. So I'm gonna use my NYX highlight and contour palette. I like using this just because it's got literally everything that you need in one palette. So before I dust off the under eye area, I'm just gonna bronze up a little bit. I'm gonna use a few of the shades in here. Depending on your skin tone, just kind of toggle back and forth. That's why I like palettes. It's got a lot of options like that, because you could customize your own shades or just stick to using the shades that they have in a specific order. And I'm just gonna reinforce everything that we did with the creams using these powders here. All right, and then that same brush that we used to apply the pressed powder under the eye, we're gonna use to just dust off any excess that may have stayed there after the baking. And with that powder combination, it's usually very minimal, so don't be surprised if there isn't powder left over. You didn't underdo it, you did what you had to do. It's just that good of a powder combo, because it'll just get absorbed by your skin so quickly, which just means that when you start to get body heat or you start to get all worked up, it'll like melt down everything and reset itself later. So keep that in mind. I don't think I want to do too much more contouring. I think I'm like happy where we're at with this. So let's go into the highlight. So for highlight, let's give you some more Wet n Wild. Let's give you some more drugstore. Let's use this Precious Petal highlight. But what I want to do before we do that is go into my NYX setting spray, the continuous mist, and just kind of dampen the face up a little bit, melt everything together. And right before it dries, I'm going to apply some of my highlight. But I also want to take advantage and just kind of push things together while this is drying. So I'm going to take this Precious Petals and I'm going to build it up quite a bit on my brush. And then I'm going to take that right here. And just kind of do like a C shape with the majority of the product right at the highest point of your cheekbone. So it is like glass looking almost. Again, that technique of spraying your setting spray and then doing this helps, but look at that. All right, what should we do for blush? I'm gonna keep it peachy. Like I want peachy vibes to kind of go with what's going on up here. I'm gonna use the shade Coral that's right there. Very lightly, because I don't want a lot. So I'm gonna use a very fluffy blush brush. Fluffy for a blush brush, right? Not like a face brush. And I'm just going to put that right at the apples. I want more of like a peachy orangey vibe, so I'm gonna take this Fenty, the Mimosa Sunrise shade on my brush and just kind of put that over. It's like a topper, just to kind of manipulate the color a little bit. Oh, much better. All right, guys, let me pick a lip color and kind of fix up my little greñas here, and I'll be right back to do the outro. All right, guys, so this is the finished lip combo. I absolutely love this. So I just ordered some new lipsticks, lip liners, and glosses to add to my kit from Morphe, but I wanted to try some before I actually try it on the clients because you don't want the first time you try something to be on your client. Anyways, this nude is everything. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like because I am a little tanner, my nudes can't be super pale. They can't be super like pink either because they just look weird on me. However, this combo was it. So I used the lip liner in Love Bite. The lipstick is in the shade Boo, B-O-O. The only thing is these tastes like have a weird taste. That's formula is bomb. It went on super smooth. It wasn't drying at all. It's matte, but it's super good. And then the lip gloss was chill. So that's the combo that you see here. This is the finished look. What do you guys think? Comment down below if you want to see more looks like this. I try to give you guys a good mix. I don't know if you've noticed, but I want something that you can do wearable, so it's like a soft glam, but then I also want to show you these artistic, like intimidating looking type of looks, just to kind of show you guys that they're not, that they're very simple if you use the right tools and the right steps. So that is the finished look for today. I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, leave a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday of the week. There's so much going on this channel, and I am so excited about that, just because you guys are getting to see a multifaceted world of beauty. And that's what we talk about on this channel, is all things beauty. So I will see you guys next time. Love you. Blessings. Bye.